Welcome back to another edition of Pteranodon Media's Show and Tell What the Hell. And today we're going to be going over Neca's Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure that I picked up recently at Target. And it was an impulse buy. I actually never got to pick up the first run, so this is actually a re-release. But what's really cool about this figure is that it has a nice window box that opens up like so, and there you go with Mr. Leatherface. So and I like that. That's one of the, I believe you could actually buy that background. I've always wanted to decorate my house like that. Coming close to it, but let's open this guy up. I already did break the seal. Let's go over some of the accessories and weapons so I don't have to actually fit him in his hands. He comes with his little blade here, and he has the hook there, and the little chainsaw there, and it comes with 2 extra heads and a butcher knife here. So didn't have this figure to begin with, so I'm very curious about one thing. Oh, looks like I gotta break the rubber band here. So I'm just gonna take out the essential weapons just to show them off. But it is there. Give me 1 second. Back. And I'm going to use my special toy opening tool here. And, oh, there's another one right there. And, yes, this is an actual soft goods apron. And one thing I wanted to see here was how it just looks all put together. So this is an unboxing video. And I wish this comes, wow, this comes with some silica gel. I'll just save that for later, for when I'm hungry. And there you go. And let's get the chainsaw out. Who doesn't love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Who doesn't love Leatherface? Of course, I'm referencing the Lucha Libre version of Leatherface, which is Leatherface. If you don't believe me, look it up. There is a Leatherface wrestler that is pretty damn awesome. And let's just pop off this head right here. Little peg right there. Let's get the chainsaw. Oops. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, for Pete's sake. And hands are a little tight, but, you know, there you go. I'll just put it in one hand for now. Let's put it in both hands. Anyway, so while I do this, just want to talk to you about my love for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which to me is a rather awesome movie, to say the least, but very close to the heart. It's just one of those movies that, actually, when I was a kid, the first Texas Chainsaw I had seen, and still remains to be my favorite, is the second one. I'm just going to kind of tuck this in right here, just to kind of have him hold it. There you go. Headless Leatherface. Let's put on this mask here. I don't know if they've released the female variation, which to me was a very creepy version of Leatherface. What I like about Leatherface is that he has different looks, sometimes throughout the same movies. And pretty neat. Let's look at the face sculpt. They're very detailed indeed. But let's go with the classic Leatherface. Pop that off. It's a little scary when you pop off heads. And there you go. That's the one I'm going to be sticking with here. Classic Leatherface. And look at that. Ah! Yeah, very good figure here. Very detailed. Wow. And it cost about $27.99, I think it was, which I think the original figure was a little bit cheaper, but seeing that they're actually the value of it really shot up in price, and then now they're available at Target, the re-releases. when you go with a distributor like Target, you're going to have to mark it up. And this is a premium quality figure. Now, you could probably find a deal as good or maybe even cheaper at some of the online retailers. Still readily available. These are just barely popping up right now. It would have been nice had they released this a little earlier with some of the Jason figures. Speaking of which, let me see how it goes with the Jason figures. Give me 1 second. And here we go with both Jason and Freddy. Jason was also a wrestler, tag team wrestler for Leatherface. And it was Leatherface y Jason. And Chucky. There was a little Chucky. So, yeah, this stands pretty well with some of the other figures. It's kind of weird, though. I imagine Freddy to be a little bit smaller than these fellas. But apparently he's just as tall as them. It's all right. Sometimes when you're a kid, you don't really pay attention to those kind of things, which, of course, getting toys like this brings out the kid in me. And growing up in the 80s, we got, you see, there is movies like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Chainsaw Massacre that you just end up watching even though you weren't supposed to. But, yeah, let me straighten this out here. And there you go. Look at that. Some handsome fellas there. Look at you. Look at you. Now, I'm surprised I hadn't gotten it sooner. In fact, I'm rather ashamed of myself. But reason being is that I live pretty close to the original gas station, which I've visited on numerous occasions. And if you're ever in the Texas area, they're not doing it this year, but hopefully next year, there is a cult classic convention that is, it's the theme of it is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's a little after party that happens at the original gas station, which has now been converted into a wonderful, beautiful barbecue restaurant, which you can actually get some Texas Chainsaw merch, toys and stuff like that. So it has a little gift shop in there, and you can enjoy their wonderful barbecue. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have that. It's actually probably about 45 minutes away from me. So I am planning a trip sometime this summer to just go hang out. Sometimes they've screened movies, but look up the cult classic. It's pretty cool. This is what brings me back to that, and wishing it happened this year. But let's hope for next year. Still going to visit the gas station. Anyway, so yeah, as far as articulation goes, he's pretty damn articulated for a Leatherface figure. I did have the original McFarlane one. I still do, actually, somewhere, but it's in box. Never opened that one up, but I knew its articulation was pretty limited. So this is a great update to it. I actually have a 3 3/4 inch one. I think, who was it that put it? Art Asylum or one of these companies put it out. I have a Jason and Leatherface 3 3/4 inch figure that a lot of people don't know about those, and I never opened them up. I wish they had re-released those because those were pretty cool as well. But the 6-inch scale, this is perfect to have some more articulated, posable figures to add to your collection. And it's cool. I mean, these guys always felt were part of the unholy trinity of evil. But it'd be nice to see a Leatherface. I think they did a Mego version, an 8-inch version, but I'd like to see a 6-inch version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 Leatherface. Because that's the movie I saw first, and that is actually my favorite of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres. And I still regard that movie as a cinematic masterpiece. That's how all movies should be done. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Check both these out. All the Texas Chainsaw Massacres are pretty strong, in my opinion, except the very last one they did. I was very disappointed with that. I think it's just called Leatherface, and not to be confused with part 3 Leatherface, but the newer one had some ideas in there. It was going certain places. I like some of the acting, but it kind of felt flat after the second half of the movie. But interesting ideas, just the execution didn't work well for me. I was excited. I thought I was going to go to theaters, and I said, oh, hey, there's going to be an actual origin story to go with the original canon. Now, there were remakes to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. While they were okay, it still wasn't as good as the original to me. But Yeah, this is a very highly detailed figure, and I like that this was soft goods. It could have very easily just gone with a plastic thing here, but look at the spray on there too. It's just they really did a nice job on this. I don't know if they went and individually painted these, or if they were all, and if they're all secretly randomized, or but they did a really fantastic job. Even the spray on the chainsaw, the chainsaw. But yeah, I just wanted to show this off really quick. And I would recommend buying it if you're. I mean, this is a must-have if you like monster toys, if you like 6-inch figures. But Leatherface is just one of those characters. You could throw him in with some of your Marvel Legends and have him terrorize them, you know. And but also goes good. I just had to get these guys all together. Now, it'd be nice to get another Pinhead. I do have that earlier 6-inch Pinhead. Which company put that one out? Damn it. I'm losing it. Brain cells. But it'd be nice to see that come along. I do have a Chatterer and a Pinhead along with some other SnTWtHs. But yeah, I like monster figures. I like monster stuff. All horror-oriented things. Just all very fun to me. One of my biggest passions is horror movies. So this was a must grab. And you can find these at Target. Like, they're in the very back. Now, one thing that, since I was at Target recently, one thing that I saw there that I posted onto the Facebook page was a Marvel Legend figure that had been swapped out for a cheaper figure. And it's in, I live near Kyle, Texas. It's a small town. But now that I'm seeing it in Kyle, yeah, it's a bad habit. Not a good thing, not a bad habit. It's essentially stealing. So if you see stuff like that, report it. Make the employees and management aware of this. We don't need any of that happening. That's just, I work hard. I mean, like I said, this is close to a $30 figure, which hopefully will outlast me. But I work hard for this stuff just to find out that people are trying to, like, getting into collecting. And they're doing some very, very shady things. But anyway, I'd highly recommend it. And if you haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre, check it out. I mean, it's a very fun movie. The whole series, even Next Generation, which is it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4, but it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation. And what was that? Renee Zellweger was in it. And Homeboy. Homeboy, that guy. Anyway, folks, we will see you next time. I got some more stuff to show you all. Got a very excited one. I have an excited toy that's waiting to come over here and show itself off. No, I am excited to show off this other figure that I just picked up at Walmart, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. But anyway, if you're just watching this one just to watch it, take care, and we'll see you later on.